Well, let's begin with the big picture. President Tinubu's Renewed Hope agenda puts a very strong focus on industrialization, and steel development is right at the heart of it in terms of economic growth and job creation. Can you say we have started seeing real progress in the steel industry, and would you say we're still at the early stages of laying the groundwork? And again, what are those specific milestones and success stories that you can point to and say that we're heading in the right direction?
Well, thank you very much for having me in your studio once again this morning. The Renewed Hope agenda under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu created a standalone Ministry of Steel Development in August 2023 to breathe new life into the steel industry. As you know, steel is the backbone of industrialization, and we have taken tremendous steps and made giant strides over the last 2 years. And it's very important to remember that this is an industry that has pretty much been comatose and non-functional for the last 45 years or 4.5 decades. We've made demonstrable steps in the right direction, and I'll speak to 5 of them. Number 1 is what we have done with Ajaokuta and the National Iron Ore Mining Company. I'll talk to that in 5 sub-parts. Number 1 is we signed a memorandum of understanding with the original equipment manufacturers, OEM, in September 2024, the Transprom export of Russia for the rehabilitation of Ajaokuta and the mining company in Itakpe. But I think it's very important to note that we have also received very, very credible proposals from serious countries that have the capacity to also revitalize Ajaokuta, including the Chinese and others as well. We should also note that China is the biggest steel producer in the world. They produce over 1 billion metric tons of steel annually. So my job is to look at all the options and put the best available option on the table for Mr. President. So I think it's also clear that the war between Russia and Ukraine may be distracting them and all of those things. So we have to take a decision that is in the best interest of Nigeria. That's the first part. And the second part is, having signed the MOU, we also received approval from the Bureau of Public Procurement, BPP, on 20th of May, just over a week ago, for the technical and financial audit. And I think this is a tremendous step in the right direction. If we're going to find suitors for the privatization process, we have to be able to do technical and financial audit to be able to know the state of the plant and what the true valuation is worth and where we can derive the most value for Nigerians. That's number 2. 3, on that first part, is I was at the groundbreaking ceremony of 5 milli LNG plants in Ajaokuta on 30th of January 2025, where 5 private companies in conjunction with NNPC did a groundbreaking where they would be bringing foreign direct investment in excess of $500 million. I was there to do the groundbreaking alongside the Minister of Gas, Ekperipo Ekpo, Right Honorable Ekperipo Ekpo, as well as the Governor of Kogi State, the GMD, the former GMD of NNPC, and the former chairman of NNPC, and a lot of dignitaries. That's the third thing that we have done. The fourth thing is we're also having very advanced discussions to sign an MOU with the Ministry of Defense for production of military hardwares in Ajaokuta. And the last thing on that first part is the fact that we've put a proposal, I put a proposal on the desk of Mr. President to set up an industrial park in Ajaokuta where land will be designated for an industrial park. Part of that industrial park would also have land that is designated for a gas park. Part of that would also have land that is designated for a free trade zone, as well as a military industrial complex. So these are demonstrable things that we're doing to revitalize Ajaokuta that hasn't happened in the last 40 years. I'll also be in Beijing, China, next week to further the discussion on the privatization process, so that as soon as we conclude the technical and financial audit, we can put the best options in front